Day Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda.
And I'm your Monday morning edition of Chuckalicious Chuck Williams.
Keeping you healthy, mind, body, and soul. It's time for the Care Express Eye on Wellness. Rhonda, our wellness coach, keeps us going each and every week. What's the topic this week, Miss Rhonda?
We're going to talk about reducing the risk of dementia.
Whoa,
How about that?
that's kind of heavy. And
Well-
most people will tell you I'm demented anyway, but I'm just trying to figure out how I can cut back or possibly avoid the risk of further dementia. But it's still a big problem. Go ahead, Rhonda.
Yeah, it is a huge problem. I've got some stats here 55 million. That's the number of people worldwide living with dementia, including Alzheimer's, which is under the umbrella of dementia, as of 2022. And that's from the World Health Organization. Nearly 10 million people are diagnosed annually with dementia. And over,
Whoa.
let's see, 1 in 10 Americans over the age of 65 live with dementia. So it is a big problem. You're right, Chuck. And we've been through all of this hope and research and thinking that we were getting close to maybe some breakthroughs, but we really haven't had any drugs that were successful in reducing the effects of it. And so they've done a little more research to see what you could do, without drugs. Not that you don't need to be
Right.
on drugs, but there are some lifestyle things that you can change.
Let me ask you this, Miss Rhonda, before we go there. Sometimes it's more of a preventative thing we have to look at, or a position we take on the issue. What are some of the contributing factors to the higher numbers we see? Is it better diagnosing of the dementia and Alzheimer's and all of its umbrella issues, or do we see a rise? Is it because of lifestyle? Is it because of I don't know. Who knows? Everybody blames everything from the climate to what kind of pants you wear to some
Mhm.
sort of illness. Are there things that are contributing to the rise of this?
Well, I think that they have decided there are a lot of lifestyle factors that are contributing. Even things like chemicals that we put on our body, things like that, could be an increase uh, in your possibility of developing Alzheimer's or dementia. And let's see what else. The lack of exercise, things like that. So most of this research that I was looking at was preventative things that you could be proactive. I know for a long time there was this thing about aluminum.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
We have aluminum in our deodorants
Deodorants.
and antiperspirants.
Toothpaste.
You drink soda out of an aluminum can, and they found some evidence to say that was something that you could reduce. So one of the things that you can do is you can be wise about what you put on your body and what you consume and where it comes from. Glass containers are best.
Mhm.
That's going to get not going to mess with you as much as aluminum.
And I remember when that became sort of an issue or something where as more and more people drank out of plastic bottles,
Mhm.
they would leave them in their car. They would get hot, and
Uh-huh.
the elements from the plastic would seep into the water and could be a contributing factor to everything from Alzheimer's to
Cancer.
cancer and
Cancer was a
whatever.
big
Yeah.
one with the PBAs
And yeah.
in
PBAs,
the
yeah.
yeah. And but they're finding that if you will live a healthy lifestyle, it could be one of your best protections against Alzheimer's and dementia. So it's fundamental. Eat well, watch your blood pressure. That's for stroke risk.
Mhm.
Okay. Get enough sleep, move your body, and exercise your brain. We know this.
Yeah. Yeah. But keeping your mind active is a big part of
Yeah,
this.
that's why Sudoku is such a big craze with the numbers and any kind of word games, anything that you can do, putting puzzles together. That's one thing my dad does.
Mhm.
Almost every day he works on a puzzle,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping then that's helping him. Another one is protect your vision.
Hmm.
They have found that there's a correlation that if you develop cataracts and you begin to become, less and less able to see, that
Hmm.
it greatly increases your risk for developing dementia. So visit your eye doctor, keep on top of things. Cataract surgery if you need it. We have some great ones here in town.
Hmm. How important is it to remain engaged? You see a lot, especially in older
Hmm.
Americans, that where they start to withdraw a little bit when signs of Alzheimer's, signs of dementia start to creep in, and they just don't feel good about themselves. They feel a little out of place. They tend to withdraw. They don't want to go as many people. What role does that play? Staying active, staying engaged, play in surviving this?
I think it's huge. We do want to stay social and have interaction because that does stimulate the brain. And the thing about people with dementia and Alzheimer's is they will withdraw.
Hmm.
That
Right.
and part of it is they understand things aren't right, and so they don't want to say something they shouldn't or do something they shouldn't, and so they socially withdraw. But it's good to stay active and keep uh, those pathways. We have neurotransmitters that function all over the place in our brain. And so
Hmm.
the more active that you are and the more things that you can stimulate your mind with, the better off you're going to be. Um, Another thing is hearing.
Hmm.
People that are losing their hearing are more likely to develop dementia or
Hmm.
Alzheimer's. And so we want to, that's according to the Lancet Commission. You want to get those hearing tests done.
Hmm.
And I didn't know this, but hearing aids can be over the counter now.
Yes, yeah, they started that
I
in
did
Yes.
January.
not know
Yeah,
this.
they
Yeah.
started that January 1st, where, and I don't know how the legal definition goes. I think there's hearing aids, and then there's amplifiers.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Amplifiers. Right.
no,
Sure.
what it did was kind of streamlines. I didn't realize until the great pastor Reverend Cantley passed away how expensive those people, those
Those.
pieces of equipment are a
Uh-huh.
true hearing aid. And so that's what they tried to do with this passing this act, opening it up. You can now go into Walmart and buy these hearing amplifiers, but I don't know. It's a tightrope because you probably do need to go to an audiologist
Hmm.
first before you invest in any kind of product. It'd
Hmm.
be best to get an expert's opinion
It would be.
on which way to
and
go.
and do it before it gets too late in
Yeah.
the process, because I know my dad had severe hearing loss and got his hearing aids and didn't want to wear them
Yeah.
because if somebody had a piece of paper and was doing
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
it drove him nuts.
Yeah.
He
Right.
wasn't
I
used
can
to hearing
imagine
it.
that.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
with this, speaking of the hearing issue, I can see hearing aids going the way of eyeglasses at Walmart, the magnifiers,
mhm,
and I, I think the price is going to go down, and as the price goes down, they'll get more popular when you can
Mhm.
just pick them, picking fruit off the
Yeah.
in deal.
Yeah, well, that time is now. After January 1
Right.
when they did this law, basically it kind of opened up the doors of how you could address your hearing loss needs,
mhm,
and so that was the big reason for trying to do this was you had so many people who were being isolated, who were
Right.
taken out. So yeah,
mhm.
so this is why they changed that law and made it more easier. I don't know if it's the best thing,